Well, hi all, Alan Christopher here, and welcome to week 4 of the discussions and the class. This week we're going to dive into telling stories. We haven't really covered this issue, but if you look at the history of the internet, Web 1.0 was actually the internet, which grew about when we suddenly had the ability to start exchanging information. Prior to that, we had networks, we had ARPANET, DEFNet, we had several other places to do it, but we didn't have a public place to exchange information. So when Web 1.0 came about with the development of the hypertext markup language, HTML, which is used to code web pages and things like that, it gave us the ability to start having all this data out there. Web 2.0 took us into the graphics, which we didn't have with the original Web 1.0. Now we could add graphics and movies and pictures, and we get funny memes, and we get cat videos, and we get all those different things out there. So that's where we are this week. We're looking at Web 2.0 and the growth of the internet and what it's done. So you've got some nice reading assignments. You've got to look at some of the issues about that. So for your discussion question, you've got to find an example of an image that really tells the story about the company, talks about its brand, makes its marketing point. I'm very excited about this assignment. I'm going to be very curious to see what you create and put out there for us. That should be a lot of fun. Your scenario assignment is you've got to effectively develop a plan to monitor the social media channels for your restaurant. I have put some information in there. I posted another video for you. Now it's an ad for a company that has a social monitoring tool, but I think it has some excellent points in it about the things that need to be measured and why it's important. So hopefully that will give you a starting point to look at. There are a ton of tools out on the internet, free tools that you can measure ROI of a company with, the return on investment. You can monitor your social media. You can monitor everything from Facebook to tweets to Google's, whatever, you name it. There are tools out there that allow you to look and see what people are saying about you. And that's really the key in there. And then in your assignment, you get to monitor those social media things. Oh, we talked about that. Your homework is your college social media, in that you get to design a team and a staff to best produce and monitor social media for the college. So you get to apply a little bit of what we've looked at from the discussion to the assignment now to the homework. So I hope that helps you a little bit. I want to make one other point. In the video that I've posted for you, the key point in here, I think, is how much other people depend upon folks for information, for reliability. It's particularly true in the generational gaps. When you go back and start looking at Gen X, Gen Y, millennials, so they depend so much more on each other for reviews, for information, for recommendations. They're much more inclined to take someone else's word for something. So just something to keep in mind when you're thinking about your social media monitoring in there. The video that I've posted for you to look at, pay particular attention right around the 50-second mark in the video. He makes a really good point in there about that. So that's it for this week. I hope you all have a great week. And as always, of course, if you ever have any questions, give me a shout, and we'll see what we can do to help. Have a great week, all.